All right, my sweat guys and Glens, let's talk Shaun White. This week in Pyeongchang, the U.S. snowboarder captured his third gold medal in an intense half-pipe battle. But was White's third Olympic gold enough to finally satisfy the snow princess Yuki-Onna? You got to think that his back-to-back 1440s were enough to cement himself in the ice princess's good graces. I mean, he's been chasing after her approval for 4 Olympics. Offering up 3 gold medals to the snowy bringer of winter isn't anything to poo-poo over. Ever since his first Olympics in 2006, you could tell he felt the pressure to appease Yuki-Onna, too. He showed he had promise in the 2010 games when he landed the double McTwist, which caused the princess to lift the darkness that engulfed Vancouver for 3 days. But his disappointing showing in Sochi in 2014 really angered Yuki. And listen, you can please all the sun gods you want by coming in first at the X Games, but Yuki-Onna represents something bigger. And even if White never admitted it, he knew he had to land gold this week to convince Yuki-Onna to finally thaw the block of ice entombing his father as punishment for his 4th place showing in Sochi. When I saw him embrace his friends and family after his win, I knew right then and there that the giant creator of ice crystals was blowing her powerful breath on Shaun's dad to finally set him free. But if 3 golds wasn't enough for Yuki-Onna, you just hope that White's performance inspired some kids out there to become the next Olympian to satisfy the foreboding princess of snow. Okay, I was going to save this Korean barbecue for later, but all this Olympic talk has made me hungry. You could put this Korean barbecue sauce on anything. We'll be right back. We're 1 week into the Winter Olympics at Pyeongchang, and from what I'm seeing, I gotta wonder, is NBC being too politically correct by broadcasting all these non-American Olympic athletes? Every single broadcast block is littered with flags that don't have the red, white, and blue stripes, languages that are nowhere close to English, and every type of non-U.S. athlete imaginable. How did we get here? I'm trying to have a nice evening watching the luge, and the next thing I know, they're broadcasting some Norwegian woman getting a gold medal put around her neck right before she gets all emotional listening to the Norwegian national anthem. That's not what the Olympics are about. Instead of showing a German winning a tight one on the slalom track, they could be showing an American waiting around for their event to start, or just seeing what Bodie Miller's up to in the booth. But God forbid you not include Canada's figure skating pair locking down another gold in your broadcast. Everyone's such a little pushover now. We have to show all the countries competing in the Winter Olympics now. The Olympics are about everyone. Christ. Fucking weenies. And NBC, if there are no Americans competing in an event, you can just show a replay of the 1980 U.S. men's hockey team beating the Russians. It gets me every time. All right, folks, I'm going to send you this next commercial break with a little bit of sports trivia. Clyde the Glide Drexler was the starting shooting guard for the 1995 NBA champion Houston Rockets. But can you name the other 4 Clydes also on that championship squad? First correct caller gets a Morning Sweat headband signed and used by me. I think you know it. Everyone gets stuck on that last Clyde. No one ever remembers him. Okay, later in the hour, my top 10 curling fights so far from the 2018 Winter Games. But first on the docket, could all the American victories so far at the Winter Olympics inspire more children to bankrupt their parents? Look, if you're a kid, you can't watch all these exciting athletes and not think to yourself, one day I want to be able to crush my parents' financial stability just like Shaun White. These games could have birthed the next great money sucker already. Hell, she could be out there right now screaming at her mom and dad to pay for an expensive coach just like all the other good skiers whose parents actually support their dreams. That kind of commitment to driving your parents deep into debt at an early age is what it takes to get on that Olympic stage. You think those Pyeongchang athletes stripped their mothers and fathers of financial independence overnight? No, sir. They put in the work, making their parents move to a ski town in Colorado, even though they could barely pay their last home's mortgage, forcing their parents to leave their jobs so they could homeschool them, making them cover expensive surgeries just because they crashed trying the beef carpaccio too soon. All for the incredibly small chance that they'll win a medal at the Winter Olympics, let alone even make the team. That insatiable desire to cripple their parents' ability to retire before 80 is really what it's all about. Hell, I know I regret not threatening to move in with my dad if my mom and stepdad didn't buy me $2,500 worth of hockey equipment when I was 12. Who knows what I would have been. Hopefully this generation of aspiring athletes won't make the same mistake I did. We'll be right back.